on the North Wind, Chapter 4. The next day Anna got up with a throbbing head and a sore foot heavily bandaged. She was determined to work away her pain, so she made the summer farm tidy and comfortable, swept the pine floors, arranged the cream woolen rugs around the furniture. Fridtjof, her neighbour, would be calling on her later. A table was laid out for tea in the kitchen, with a jug of milk from the goats that morning, and a cake she had bought from the store at the water's edge. In the living room the sofa was ready for where a man and a woman could sit together, amongst the cushions decorated with hearts and pitchforks. And everywhere in her home long white candles stood in brass holders, waiting for the last of the autumn nights and the arrival of winter. She rocked in the chair slowly, listening for the crunch of Fridtjof's boots on the hillside track. Moving on, she thought, was difficult, when every unexpected sound could be that of Emil returning. She fingered the necklace she wore, tiers of red gold on a golden chain, an anniversary present she found by accident a week after Emil had gone, hidden in a camera case. Anna still remembered him standing in the doorway before he left for the coast, the hug they had shared, the texture of the hat she handed him, the last kiss on the lips. When Emil had not called a day later, she was not so surprised. The journey might have been difficult. He may have got in late, coming back on a night boat, and then having to wait until day to move across country. Perhaps he decided to stay over somewhere. He was a charming man and could easily fix himself a bed for the night. In his younger days he had camped in a tent, although he said he was too old to sleep out now, but really he was too sensible. She presumed if the sunset had proven to be so spectacular, then the sunrise might be equally as good. In the winters, when the sun really did take its leave, then things had been bad for her, at first unspeakable. But there had been one unexpected positive. Her figure had improved, helped by a tall frame and a lack of interest in food. She had inherited a natural beauty from her mother. In her youth her blonde hair had flown behind her. Now her hair lay down and was best combed flat and tied at the back. The gentle smoothness of her cheek had become creased, but when she smiled, her skin smiled around her green eyes. Her lips were thinner, but her heart was stronger. 3 years without a meal, or even knowing what had happened to him, had produced many tears, but she had survived. Footsteps approached, boots crunching on the stones, then a knock at the door. She slid back the bolt. Fridtjof entered and took off his cap. "Hi," he said, grinning cheerfully. Gunnar plodded through to the kitchen to lick Fridtjof's hand and receive a dog biscuit. Then the large brown dog lay down in its basket and was soon asleep, chasing reindeer, paws flapping. Anna and Fridtjof sat down at the kitchen table. She served him tea and cake. "It is getting colder. Will you be moving to your sister's place for the winter?" he asked. "Not this year. The school in Björfjord has taken me on to teach English and maths. I am looking forward to the new challenge." Gunnar barked a wet cough and fell silent. "He's still sick," commented Fridtjof. "The cancer has moved to the lungs." "How long is he?" "Not long." Fridtjof brushed Gunnar's coat with his hand. "I'm sorry. I could get you another dog." "I do not need another." Fridtjof looked around the farmhouse kitchen. "Your father only used this place in the summer. It is not suitable for a winter stay." "Well, I'm quite stubborn and willing to give it a try." "You are a lone wolf," said Fridtjof. "Maybe all Norwegians are." Fridtjof shook his head. "We do not live in a well-populated place, that is true, but we are not antisocial, and we respect the weather." He softened his tone. "I know it has been difficult without a meal. I have Gunnar." Fridtjof looked at the sleeping dog. "Not forever." "He will be in my memory forever. Siegfried will come by with the post and bring me bread and coffee." "What about robbers or bandits?" said Fridtjof. "They will expect a summer farm to be deserted, or will you be the last tough girl in the valley? You know there is no trouble here. The farms are quiet all year round. Occasionally a lost hiker comes by and I put them on the right track. I like the silence. I milk the goats, make some cheese. It is what I want to do. Fridtjof rubbed his chin, ran a hand over his short-cropped hair and tried again. It's October tomorrow. It will be cold soon. There will be 5 meters of snow, just like last year, in this very place. It took days to uncover the roads, and you are not getting any younger. His reminder that the cold months were coming annoyed her. Like many others, she loved the summer, loved it for the tangible improvement it made in her mood. She was good-humoured in those precious months, when her skin glowed and she was a young woman again. Thoughts of the dreary twilight and the long dark days of winter, these things upset her and broke the spell. This is my home, Fridtjof, for a large part of the year, and now maybe all year round. My father bequeathed the farm to me, and I want to keep it working, not for it to become forgotten. Fridtjof put down his cup of tea. You are still waiting for Emil. Everyone can see it. Fridtjof was gentle while he spoke. All things come to pass. It has been 3 years, dearest Anna. It is time for you to let go and move on. She left the kitchen and returned to the rocking chair in the living room. Gunnar did not move as she walked by. While Fridtjof finished his tea and cake, she rocked back and forth and looked out of the window and studied the photographs on the mantelpiece. 2 young girls, her nieces, with hair the colour of wheat, in white dresses with long sleeves and ruched colours. Nina in a black waistcoat, Solveig in the red, both with silver brooches on the lapels. She got up out of the chair and picked up another photograph, an oval portrait of Emil and her on their wedding day. She kissed his image. You and I met nearly 28 years ago, and then one day you were taken away from me. Why didn't you leave your body behind as some evidence of what had happened? She studied one of his photographs. What was so special about the sunsets where Emil visited? Did other people go along too? She had sought out photography clubs to ask their members. People knew Emil. He was an established photojournalist, well published in magazines and widely exhibited. He was known for his fascination with the setting sun and old rural buildings. His club members said that they would keep an eye out for him. Fridtjof knocked on the door of the living room and she invited him in. He sat down on the sofa. Anna rocked slowly in the chair. Alva and I will look forward to seeing more of you if you decide to stay in the winter. She smiled. Thank you. I will also invite Birgit and her children out here. Nina will lay a place for Emil at the table. Solveig will say a prayer. We all say prayers for Emil, Fridtjof sighed. A memorial service would be appropriate. She stopped her gentle rocking. Everyone is keen for me to move on and close the chapter on Emil, but I want to know more. Some missing people return many years after the event. There are families and friends who wait a lifetime for someone special to return. Fridtjof's mouth was moving, but he had said nothing. Anna resumed her rocking. In term time I will walk to the school in Björford. There will be marking to bring home in my rucksack. Gunnar will keep me company for as long as he can. On the weekend I will make some improvements to this place. They are lucky, these children. She got up, crossed to where Fridtjof was sitting, and squeezed his hand. You have been kind to me, but I need to wait a little longer for Emil. Fridtjof stood up and put his coat and cap on. Let's have dinner next week, he said brightly. Alva will cook. He went through to the kitchen where he put on his boots, tied his bootlaces, and walked out the door. She went into the kitchen to see how Gunnar was doing. The dog was sleeping in his basket. Let peace come and stay with him. She returned to the rocking chair. The TV was showing a repeat of the voyage of the Hurtigruten ship, moving slowly up the coast, all 134 hours of it, in real time. Emil had loved it. She dared one of the shadows in the room to challenge her, to turn into Emil's ghost and to scare her. She reasoned that such a happening would be the first recorded instance of a real ghost, and she would become famous. She whispered, "It is you I wait for." When will you be home?